His gift should be too. Whether he's a music lover or lives for his first cup of coffee. Shop Father's Day gifts as original as he is on Etsy.
The movie begins with the maiden China doll from Temu that get pulled apart from the sweatshop locker and make a new $2 doll.
And a new family moves to the Pink Palace apartments and they are hella stingy. $1.
Oh, you got the Sheen Walker salary.
And we meet Caroline, and I thought the shot was pretty interesting because it's as if someone's watching her as she walks through an ugly-ass dead garden, then gets bored so she tries to stone a cat.
The cat moves up like,
ugly-ass cat, I will beat your ass. Then some kid shows up and gives her the best first impression, putting Caroline in a mud bath.
Ooh, this is a $2 dress.
Then bro pretty much saves her falling down a well and introduces himself as YB. You look at her face, she's disgusted. She's like, how dare his musty ass touch me? Then he lets her know the branch she's holding is poison oak, so despite helping and preventing her falling into a well, she still hates his ass. So the film's trying to say first impressions are pretty important. Anyway, she gets a nasty rash and talks to her mom.
I would have died. Wish you did. Do you even love me?
I don't care. So early on we see the problem that Caroline feels ignored and isn't given enough attention by her parents because they're too busy with work. Girl, I'm in debt.
So she then becomes the attention seeker.
And Dad's like, why didn't I pull out in this economy? But honestly, I don't blame Caroline's actions at all because it's normal for a kid to want to be seen and loved by their parents. Hey girl,
get out of my room.
And she's like, alright, just don't be shocked when you get old and I never come visit you. Then Caroline gets a gift from YB of a doll that looks exactly like her, and how is she not creeped out at all? Like, you just moved in, it's your first day, and you see a doll that looks exactly like you, and you're just chilling? You're chill? Like, even the dad sees it, and he's like, meh, who cares? You, sir, are a terrible parent. Then Caroline finds out she's lower middle class, as her bathroom has disgusting bugs and has the pool water. Then after placing the doll and looking in front of it, she comes back and the doll is gone, magically placed somewhere else, and lures her to find a secret door.
Hey, Mom.
Then she heads over like, really? Over a door? Really? Girl, I'm trying to pay the bills for the mortgage and you gonna keep acting like a kid? Yes, how dare does a kid continue to keep acting like a kid? It doesn't make sense. It's almost like the kid is a kid. If you don't like her actions that much, that's your fault for having kids when you're clearly not ready to have kids. I just felt bad for Caroline because it ain't her fault her parents moved to a new shitty area with a dead garden and poo water, so Caroline's by herself with no friends. That's not her fault. Anyway, the mom opens the door and it's a brick wall.
Tracker.
Girl, you so Caroline's having a tough time with grocery food, a dead garden, bugs, and poo water, and emotionally unavailable parents, so right now everything sucks. But suddenly, some big-ass looking ice pull up and throws Caroline to the secret door, which shows a tunnel that's named after the planet Uranus. Then Caroline goes through Uranus, and on the other side is the exact same design as her house.
Since when did you
Yeah. What'd you say there, Caroline? You with your mind?
So like, you're not my mom. I don't think we give Caroline enough credit for being that brave, and immediately after seeing someone that creepy, your first thought is to confront them. And maybe because it's an animation film, it doesn't look as bad, but imagine a real-life person with buttons instead of eyes. Because in real life, you ain't confronted, you'd be running. So this thing claims to be Caroline's other mother, and this one identifies as her other father, and they're pretty much the opposite of her real parents, making Caroline feel seen and loved just how she always wanted. For example, her real mom wouldn't let her play in the mud, but her other mother talks about having mud baths together. But there's no rain. And it's only when the other mom mentions she knows she has poison oak that Caroline is like, alright, I'm gonna leave. Really? That's where we draw the line? Not the fact that she has buttons on her eyes. You're more concerned that she knows she has poison oak, not that she has buttons? Okay. Then the other mother gaslights her like, yeah, this is just a dream, and puts mud on her rash and puts Caroline's. Yo, I don't care how much you pay me, I am not closing my eyes and sleeping in front of these two just staring at her.
Oh, hell!
Could you imagine just waking up and seeing those two just staring at you?
That creepy.
The next day, she wakes up, her rash is gone, but behind the secret door is a brick wall again. So she tells her mom what happened, but her mom's like,
I don't care, shut up.
And Caroline meets one of the neighbors, Mr. Pregnant, because he is in fact pregnant. Like, damn, look at that belly. Then he warns her, saying the mice said don't go through the small door. And when she meets the neighbors downstairs, it's the retired circus grannies. And one of them warns she's in danger and sees a strange hand in Caroline's future.
What should I do?
Get implanted titties. Then later she meets YB, and after they start getting along, he says Grandma will kill him if he entered Caroline's crib because his grandma had a twin sister that went missing, saying it's too dangerous. So Mr. Pregnant says don't enter the small door. The retired granny says she's in danger and sees a creepy hand in the future, and now YB says his grandma's twin sister went missing and that Caroline's crib's too dangerous, and guess what Caroline does? She goes, damn, that's crazy. and tries entering the small door again. It's like, what? So she attracts the mice and follows it and goes inside Uranus again. And for her second visit, it was even better than the first, as she sees a pretty garden dedicated to her, eats good food, meets the other Ivy who won't yap and is very nice to her, and ends the night with a circus performance. Again, making her feel seen and loved, which are the two things she's craving the most in life. But back in the real world, your real mom won't even give her some hugs.
My other mother would get that.
What? Look like I give a shit? So Caroline's pissed, unhappy, and convinced the other one from the secret world is better than whatever she has going on here, so she heads back again, but this time during the day.
I knew Uranus was real.
And going for her third visit, she meets the same black cat from her parent.
You must be ugly. No, stupid. I'm from China. You want cup noodle? The cat's Asian?
The cat warns her the other mother is not who Caroline thinks she is, and she's like, nah, you lying.
You're just jealous the other mom loves me.
Yeah, whatever. Then meeting up with other Ivy, she watches the retired grannies turn into their younger self, perform who includes Caroline in their performance, giving her fun, attention, and again, most importantly, making her feel safe with their mother. And when her parents pick her up after the show,
this is when shit stopped to go down.
You look at Ivy's face, he goes from happy to sad.
Oh, he knows what's coming.
But the other mom looks at Ivy like,
well, I will mud. We can make you stay here forever. Really? There's just one condition. You just need to sew these buttons and replace your eyes so I can eat your flesh and love you forever. What? Hell, you crazy?
It hurts so much you'll be screaming for days. So the other mother tries manipulating her into sewing her eyes out, and Caroline, realizing she's high-key cooked, tends to act sleepy to sleep and get the hell out of it.
Your eyes will soon look Asian.
Freaked out and traumatized, she makes sure no one can come near her and tries going to sleep, but how the hell do you go to sleep after something like that? Because there's a literal psycho downstairs trying to take your eyes out, but somehow she does and wakes up like,
yes! Oh, you stuck here forever.
Then the cracks start to show as the other dad surprisingly helps her, saying the other mom is the one in control of all of us. Caroline tries running away, reuniting with the cat, and finds out this entire world is a lie, as it's only designed this way to manipulate Caroline to give up her eyes and die by the other mother. It's almost like this film's trying to teach us the mind of a manipulator that'll do everything right in the beginning to get you attached, and once you're hooked, they'll switch up and begin what they want from you. Anyway, this thing continues to mom after Caroline.
You better let me out, huh? I'll twerk on your mother. You smell like a bum. Apologize. No.
Then the stingy giant neck lady puts Caroline in a timeout corner, which confirms
she's not an Asian, because Asians don't do that shit.
She meets the ghosts of 3 kids that fell victim into the giant neck lady's trap, and when they gave her their eyes, she ate their souls. Could you imagine a 6-year-old watching this movie by themselves because the parents on the cover was like, that's a kid's movie because it's an animation film, and meanwhile the kids watching it, they're just getting traumatized. By the way, let me know how old you guys were when you watched it. But the kids review giraffe lady used to the
16, I was maybe probably almost 17.
To eat their eyes so that their souls would be free. But the other wife rescues her, so she backs him by slamming him to the room and broke a fortune, revealing the giraffe fraud sold her snarl. Then he helps her get to the small door, and other wife, knowing he's cooked, still risks his life to make sure Caroline escapes.
W other baby. Oh.
Is it just me that finds it strange that Caroline is super chill, acting like nothing happened after everything she just went through? Anyway, Ivy asks her to go back to his grandmother's twin sister, and Caroline spills the tea and tells him everything that happened.
There's a giraffe lady, and she'll eat your eyes and your nuts. And eat my pants, cutting a whole spat. The cat.
So Caroline crashes out because bro thinks she's crazy and dips because she's freaking him out, and for some reason she struggles to find her parents.
Hello, and that's where I take a lot of praise.
And later, because she's lonely, using her chopsticks, Granny gives her an item and says it's good for finding things. And maybe she is using it, but she pretends that's her mom and cries herself to sleep. And what am I watching? Yo, the director of this film got me pretty messed up to even think of a story like this. But the cat's like, wake your ass up, and reveals that Longneck took her parents by making dolls to spy on them. And Caroline's super brave. She's like, alright, we going back, and I ain't calling the cops because I ain't no snitch. I'll do this shit myself.
Caroline? Mom? Mommy's gonna skin you alive. Oh, she is shocked. You're not my mom. No shit.
But Brian gives her the keys, making sure Caroline can't escape. So Caroline remotes the gate, and she finds her parents and the ghost gets eyes, so she has to let everyone go, but if Caroline fails, she made fun of his men for staying in.
And long neck of race.
And thanks to plot knowledge, she gets the item the guy Granny gave her, which pretty much shows her where will be his eyes. So the first eye is on her other dad, and he actually apologizes, saying that Longneck is controlling him and gives her an eye that helps out. Then she finds a second eye by taking it from these stunning supermodels who should totally be on Victoria's Secret. But thanks to plot armor again, some rats end up saving the days. But on her way to find the next one, she finds out the other Ivy lived again. This is a pretty clever way of saying he got hanged, as dude is hanging for bags. And when Caroline finds the third eye, the rat runs off with it, and after getting attacked by a group of rats that slows her down, she thinks it's a great idea to throw the very item that helped her get this far. And look at her face when she missed. It's like, yup, I would make that face too if my IQ was already that and some dumb shit like that. Then the mice trips her ass and she goes for an accident that could have literally broken her spine. It's like, dang, you good, girl? You good? So she's not crying because she's a failure. But the cat gets her the third eye. Wait a minute, her other dad gave her the first eye, but that's helped her get the second eye and the third eye. The cat just gave it to her. So technically, Coraline ain't do shit. Moving on, Coraline's phone long next web is unwinding as the fake world starts moving apart. Damn, we see Giraffe later. You look at her face, she's like, damn, are you kidding? Do I look like that? She looks like if someone said to us Sarah Silverman if she died and has AIDS.
Even if you didn't play dirty. Parents are behind the door.
And what surprised me is that this thing is a master manipulator and falls for such a simple trick and opens the small door for Coraline while the cat finds Coraline's parents. Damn, so Coraline just got help the whole way through and the fact the cat finding them, she does this.
Your eyes now look Chinese. Thank you.
Yep, the same cat that warned her about the other world. The same cat that showed her the other world is a lie. The same cat that let her know her parents got taken, got the third eye for her, and found where her parents are. That same cat just got yeeted to be used as a distraction to help Coraline's selfish ass escape. Girl, just say you're a dog person. Why are you gonna eat a cat? And ironically, the cat rips the buttons off abundantly.
Oh, she got the power. Oh, cute.
I love how the cat just goes, you know what? As you should, Mr. Kitty. You deserve way better than getting eaten for having to hold it.
You got my phone in it. Oh.
It's cracked 24/7 freshness.
No. I can't do it.
Coraline runs away while behind wannabe Spider-Man follows her. Y'all, the ghost kids help Coraline because apparently the film made it clear she can't do anything on her own. The doors they close and the thing's hand rips off and Coraline successfully escapes. Yeah, I wouldn't blame her if she became autistic after that shit. Then she reunites with her parents while they have no clue she miraculously didn't get eaten. Because imagine the cat didn't help her or she didn't get the item that helps her find, the lost items. Then she would have been cooked. Anyway, she bonds with her family as her mom ends up buying her the gloves she wanted. Yes, this film's trying to say family isn't perfect, and that's okay. It's not meant to be perfect. The grass ain't always greener on the other side, so just cherish it. Then the cat shows up and looks at her like, you really needed me after all this shit I did for you? Stop being such a pussy. And just like that, the cat forgives her. Yo, that might be the nicest cat ever. And when she falls asleep, she meets the ghost kids, and they're like, girl, get rid of the key or you're screwed. And when Coraline gets sad, one kid deadass just says, hey, at least you're still alive, which pretty much means, is you dead? You're not dead, right? That's what you sad about. And good timing, too, because the thing's hand pops out and follows her as she tries to throw the key down. And the hand straight up attacks her and takes her back to the small door, but Wybie comes to the rescue. Or so he thought, as he just takes Coraline's place as the hand tries killing this dude. And what's funny is Coraline puts a blankie on it and gets shocked the hand is still moving. Girls, what were you thinking? You were like, oh, if I put a blankie on it, then it won't stop moving because I put a blankie on a moving hand. Oh, it's still moving? Why is it moving? But I put a blankie on it. Bro, and Wybie smashes it with a rock and they put the key in the smashed hand down. Well, and toast. Hey, why can't the film let Coraline do it all on her own without help? It's almost like the film's trying to say if she doesn't get any help, she'll have blood in her. And Wybie tells her he's starting to believe what she said after seeing a photo of her sister with a similar doll.
Now I'm gonna abuse you forever.
The next day, the parents and neighbors try to make the garden look less shit as the film ends with Wybie bringing his grandma and Coraline starts a conversation. This is a classic good film overall, and although I think the director is a little bit messed up for even coming up with a story like this, you can't deny it's very entertaining. And the way the other mom was acting throughout the movie just reminded me of dudes that would have no game, that fakes their personality just to try to get a girl to like them. You know those dudes who just try to fake their personality, just saying all the right things, doing all the right things.
Make a chat with me.
Yes.
Okay? Okay?
Yes. This is not original.
I'm into male penis. I'm super gay, okay?
And I love
Then, people need to change my life.
As the book says, even kids be unaware they love animals. This is a school classroom. Shouldn't there be signs that don't touch the animals? Anyway, then we're introduced to the main character, Mabel.
Stop Asian. I'll ship you to Bangkok.
Now, Mabel's a foreign Asian. What kind of Asian steals animals from classroom in school policy? So she ends up stealing all the animals and she has to
Rebellious Asian.
Also, she can't know deeply about animals. That means she's vegan. What kind of Asian kid with Asian parents says they're vegan? Have you ever met an Asian kid that says
I'm a vegan.
ever?
Okay.
That kid's a foreign Asian. Anyway, she gets caught by the janitor and we see all the teachers at school side-eyeing her because they don't like her.
Are you sure she's Asian?
Hell, hey, I'm a snitch. Really, bro? You a janitor and you care about your job that much? You gonna snitch on little kids? Shouldn't janitors just be hating their lives? So if they even see suspects in school, they just go, I don't get paid enough for this shit. Just keep pushing. Grown-ass man janitor snitching on a little-ass kid is crazy. I mean, he just treat her like she's a wild animal. Rightfully so, because she starts acting like one as the Asian using violence. White's a member of stand, but Dave believes hurting people is okay as long as she helps some animals by stuffing them in her bag. Listen, Asian to Asian,
It's all tuyo. It's all tuyo.
man, what kind of Asian kid assaults a member of Stacks?
What a shitty Asian.
And we find out why she's raised so poorly because her mom is too busy working and spends little to no time with her as Mabel gets dropped off at her granny's. The film's trying to say if you have two working parents, then it creates misbehaving vegan kids. Got it.
Who wants to run it, bro? Oh, that's why no one likes you. Bye.
Now, my question is, who the hell told her you need to care about animals so much better than violence and humans? It turns out this granny and hippie tells Mabel you can feel better with nature and can't stay mad at everything.
Yeah. You homo?
Now, the granny seems sure, despite Mabel spending a bunch of time with Granny, she still grows up arrogant, rude, no humility, modesty, and has crazy anger issues. So in present day, Mabel makes sure she's not a walking Asian stereotype and the possible to become victim. Unlike the Pixar character that was over Granny's dead, and Disney pushes the humans are evil because they cut down trees, so care about climate change propaganda. And the city already agreed and decided to build a new highway, but Mabel's annoying ass tries to stop it, making nuisance to every working day with family they need to feed. Interesting how she cares and loves animals so much while having no empathy towards other humans who are just trying to do their job.
Let's die. No, I'm doing it.
And introduced to man Gary, who took the initiative to make the highway to be built late. One price,
Of course.
Mabel being extremely aggressive, yelling, screaming, and being a public nuisance to the city because she cares so much about nature just really isn't what Asians do. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I am.
This poor mayor's just doing his job to improve and build the city, but Mabel be stalking him to his house, blaming him like he's the sole reason why global warming or animal endangerment is happening in the first place.
This Asian weird.
Jerry says they're building the highway because there are no animals.
No stupid leaf.
You're being
Shut
disrespectful.
up.
It turns out there's actually no animals.
Wait, so I'm animal?
And Mabel gets taken by the Popo, and Jerry says start a petition and get some signatures, and then which is actually very reasonable. And Jerry's only making the highway because everyone else belongs to the highway. That's why he's all pissed to get reelected because he gets the vote they want. So how's Mabel going to take it out on the mayor when it's the whole city that wants the highway built?
This Asian weird.
Jerry starts moral farming, and that blue dial watch looking nice. I wonder if there are any girls on TikTok making thirst trap edits of Jerry. That'd be pretty cool.
Kara, what's your name?
And to no one's surprise, nobody likes Mabel's annoying ass who cares about the blade, so she doesn't get a single signature. You look at his face, he's like,
Get the hell away from me.
even this guy doesn't like Mabel, so he starts moonwalking.
Just beside him, please.
I really can't see shit. Mabel finds another Asian and spends the entire week with him in the hopes of convincing him to sign a petition, only to find out by the end of her yapping this
Old man, wrinkle man has hearing aids.
What you say? You know what? That's on you, Mabel. Not letting him speak and just yapping. So he's actually careful with what you had to say. You would have found out about his hearing aids pretty damn different than you have. And the old man writes a petition and celebrates only to find out that her ass got Trump. And later, Mabel stalks Jerry on social media and is like, why didn't you upload the petition on social media about the blade to get signatures instead of doing it on in person?
How the hell are you Gen Z?
So Mabel rocks up to college to harass a professor while she's in the lecture because, again, Mabel couldn't care less about other people. So being a nuisance to others while having a weird-ass obsession for nature and animals is why Mabel's character is so damn insufferable. Now, the professor confirms there are no animals at the Glade, and the moment the professor gives good intel, telling her only a beaver can save the Glade, that by building a dam, you have a pond full of animals, Mabel then yaps over her, spewing her own ideas, and ignores the professor, leaving her.
Oh, that's your old.
Also, this thing died.
What did?
The new one.
Yeah, I told you it didn't have a whole charge on it. Oops, I dropped a thing on the floor. Two things, I guess.
Wasn't it like at 60% or
There's
something?
another one, maybe. But it could have been sitting there just draining as being. Because did you put the
I never.
pin back in it?
What?
Did you put the pin back in your iPad?
No.
Oh, no. I
Or
was going to say it might be draining it.
well, I never also plugged it in when you gave it back to me.
Right, that's fine. Oh, I think there'd be a way to plug it in. Your other charger, we don't know if it works. Can you get it out for a second?
Which one? This?
The new one. Do you still have the box to plug this other end in? Yeah.
Yeah.
on here.
Not bad.
Unless it's the box that's the problem, not the cord, which is possible too. Probably need to go get you a different box. But try it anyway. You have this. You plug that in. Well, I plug this in then. Plug it back.
Yep.
Sorry, did I interrupt your game?
No, not really. I was literally just finishing that.
You'll just have to scoot it over. Right now it's shoved up under your thing. There you go.
You know what it means. Oh, there we go. Oh, man, I can use it.
Got it? I think you got it.
So, yep, we're good.
Looks like it is. The thing came on. Okay. Yeah, it says it's charging.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see how it does on charging. Okay, so just put it in there and let it do its thing. Don't keep messing with it. Don't keep messing with it. It'll go black. Just let it do its thing and we'll see how well it charges. I'll try to remember to ask you later. You can let me know later what it got to. Now, it might take a little longer on the first charge. The first now, because I think it's doing your pencil and your thing. Good? You can help it?
We're good. Go get stuff.
Yeah, we got our groceries and stuff. We gotta go back out though because we gotta get rats.
Oh, we will. I think it's like 5. We'll go over there. We got tea. We did it, though. Yep, we'll do that. Do data. Do data. You know, I love how when people say, I don't know, it's not when people say words to me, it was when me. When I say words in certain ways, it sounds like a different word. Do data. Do data. Dude, I'm already doing better. Do data. What are you saying? Do data. Dude, I'm already doing better. Do data. I am. What do you want? I'm already better. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's good. I love playing with myself. It's fun. Very fun. I just do data. What the? No. Do data.
She's so likable. Then buying some vegetables, she goes to the plate and puts a rushing water meditation video on, thinking that's how it's going to attract beavers. And we get a flashback to Mabel's mom saying you have no opportunities if you come with us, but she refuses and says it's because Grandpa needs me. Which is funny because the very next clip is the granny saying, nope, I don't need your ass at all. As the granny then gives Mabel her jacket and gets her to promise to look after the plate. So essentially, the film's trying to say that the granny ruined her life. Inside of her, a beaver shows up and ignores the veggies, which is better because who the hell likes eating veggies? And then it gets picked up by a mysterious car, so cases happen. And what's funny is the film expects us to believe that Mabel is just as fast as a cowboy riding a skateboard. It's like, yeah, I'm sure she is. So then she sees the beaver stand up and goes, what the? And finds out that her professor at some no-name university has the technology to allow human consciousness to hop into robotic animals. That's it. You want to wait. So Mabel being Mabel keeps being a nuisance to others, thinking she's doing such a righteous thing protecting a beaver when it's robotic. And why is this professor so kind and just tells Mabel everything? Like Mabel harasses you, takes your life work, doesn't listen to you, and yet you're still gonna explain your entire plan and let her know everything. Speak in Japanese. Yes. And we learn the professor's a furry, dressing up as animals in hopes to mate with them, and by employing other furries to help her, years and years later she now has detective mate with animals. You want to mate with animals? Yes. This is animal avatar. This is not original. And Mabel continues to rage bait and be extremely annoying, doing whatever she wants with the professor's life's work in her hands. Because she has no care for the people who actually built it, she decides to use it for herself to save the glade. Bro, who the hell does she think she is? She ain't no damn Asian if she's this inconsiderate. And despite
I love how the two
beaver,
fields we
Mabel
have.
still comes across as extremely unlikable. Now, they can track her location in real time, but Mabel finds a button that can turn her off, and it's like, why would you ever want to create a button that turns off the boss location when a million different things can go wrong as we become an animal? And by the next morning, Mabel finds out she can communicate to other animals, so she gets all excited and becomes a nuisance to other animals. When you have her, and even the animals can't stand her as it tells her to piss off. So if both animals and humans think you're unlikable and can't stand you, then clearly it means you are the problem. And guess what she does when she finds a beaver? She orders him around to go save the glade, so he's obviously not nervous. And a bear pulls up to eat the beaver, so Mabel uses the pliers while screaming like a Karen wannabe when she's Asian and stops the beaver from getting eaten. I want to eat it. Why do you eat me, Daddy? I'm not aroused. Now, Mabel broke pond rules, so she's taken to the Mammal King, and only when she's in trouble she contacts the professor. And I'm not gonna lie, this following scene was hella boring and cringe, as the Mammal King is a beaver that's super zesty, getting all the animals to dance and start walking. Oh, hello. What's your name, beaver? And realizing she doesn't need the professor's help, she turns her location off again, and somehow the other animals aren't sussed out at all that this new beaver out of nowhere has known anything about the rules. We learn pond rules is pretty much look out for each other, but if you gotta eat, eat. Now, the Beaver King George tries to see the good in everyone, including humans, and it's ironic how Mabel starts shitting on humans, saying that you don't care about others and do whatever you want, which is very rich coming from Mabel because she does that the entire film. Mabel asks, speaking private, oh, so you're one of those. I'm into male beavers. I'm super gay, okay? I know you love that. So Mabel tells him to move to the glade when he says the pond is for Mabel. George takes her to the glade to prove it, and all the animals cover their ears in pain as Mabel discovers a fake tree purposely set up there by Jerry to create sounds only animals can hear to drive them away. So Mabel climbs it and takes it down, getting rid of the painful sound, allowing the animals to settle back to the glade again. Man, that is one weak-ass fake tree. So she gains all the animals' trust and becomes even more bossier than before as the beavers then build a dam at the glade and other animals start chilling there again. And no disrespect to all, but who the hell is? I wonder if there's anyone that wants to see them just like jumping up and down going, gosh, yay, there's animals in the glade again. It's like, who cares? Honestly. Anyway, Jerry gets told the animals are back in the glade, so he decides to do something about it to make sure they eat again. Then we get some boring Gavin George origin story of how his dad was a deadbeat that vanished, and by telling Mabel to trust her, he says this. I want to ask you something. Can you give me a foot massage? But you stink. And George asks her to be called the king, which is a royal advisor.
Oh, the fields have been right near here, so that's awesome. But the fields have been right near the delicious.
Big trees for south is set up in order to make sure the animals don't come back. And Mabel gets pissed and wants to get back at Jerry, so she orders George to summon the council, agreeing to be called the king. And the council is pretty much the king and queens of the bird, fish, amphibian, reptile, and insect kingdom. You know what's funny? I'm seeing their entrances like, is this meant to be tough? Because I don't feel the sea aura whatsoever. Now, George clearly tells Mabel that he'll do the talking. She agrees, but the moment the council rejects George's idea, saying it ain't our problem and refuses to help, Mabel can't keep her mouth shut. So Mabel yaps that it's every animal's problem, not just the mammals, and basically describes Jerry as the human king who's the worst evil ever. Telling them if he's not stopped, the human will take and take until there's nothing left and they're all going to die. You're all about to kill someday. Like this peasant. But the insect queen agrees and decides on killing Jerry as a result. And it was at that moment Mabel realized she should have just shut the hell up. Oh, yeah? Really? You convinced all the animals that they're going to die if they don't stop Jerry, just to say, oh no, but if you scare him, everything will be fine. Really? And also, do you think if Jerry dies, no highways will be built in the future, the highways are being built because the people want the highway. So trying to fix this issue isn't as simple as, oh, kill one guy and it's going to be chill now. Because if anything, climate change is, dare I say, impossible to fix. And if Mabel genuinely thought that giving Jerry a little scare would make the world better, it's going to fight against climate change, she just might be the stupidest Asian ever. Girl, I'm no way. This girl crazy. I was just joking. So Insect Queen is like, how you gonna tell us we all gonna die and switch up when we try to do something about it? And Mabel kills her. Okay, give credit where credit's due. This is the one scene I actually found funny and laughed at. But the scene also makes Mabel into the biggest hypocrite. You want to talk about how much you care about the weak animals that can't defend for themselves and proceed to kill the Insect Queen? And to make things worse, you rub her incised arm onto the wall to get it off your hands like you're getting rid of some filth. You look at George's face. He knows they're going to. Turns out the professor and her goons have been watching over Mabel when her neighbor was chasing goons, animal vomit is destroyed, exposing to the other animals that there are fake animals running around. Mabel and George are able to get away while the other kings and queens of the animal kingdom crash out over the fake animal bots. Just get a bots. Yeah, kind of. When the strong caterpillar becomes an insect king, evolving into a butterfly like he now Pokemon, as Mabel finally gets confronted for her bad behavior. I did nothing wrong, George. Murder. You killed the insect queen. Because of you, my life is cut. Why couldn't you let me do the talking? She's so tired of dealing with this bitch.
Face it, you easily earn extra cash. She just has to list and sell what she doesn't wear, all with zero.
She actually said this out, and the reason why she killed the insect queen and ruined George's life, or does whatever she wants without caring about anyone else, is because she's tired of feeling this way. That her feelings are more important than people and animals. That her feelings are so important that she's not going to take accountability, apologize, but rather, no, continue to play victim because of how important her feelings are. This movie is ass. Mabel just might be the worst Pixar character I've ever seen, and I watched Elliot. Imagine if I said, yes, I killed the queen and I ruined your life, but I'm tired of feeling this way. And because my feelings are more important than your livelihood, I get to do whatever I want. It's like, what? And what's even more dumb is they bring a flashback of your grandma to try to make us feel sorry for her, but it's like, yo, it's your grandma, and grandma's dying happens to everyone. She acts like her granny died from an extremely tragic event. She died of old age. Like, yo, that's the best way to pass away. And what makes it seem even more dumb is George goes in to comfort her when Mabel ruined his life. So again, Mabel doesn't apologize, take accountability, or self-reflect. No, instead, George pretends like she did nothing wrong and says, I still trust you, let me help you. And Mabel starts ordering everyone around her to get to Jerry before the other people do. Meanwhile, Jerry reads papers about himself getting blazed, and we get to see the inside of his nice company home and daily routine. Hey, yo, why they make his mom's eyes look ish? Hello, Jerry, mother. Jerry-san, arigato. So Bro continues to get blazed on the news and in public that he meets the animals, aka Mabel's toys. And Mabel uses text-to-speech on Jerry's phone to communicate with him, telling him that he's in danger and he has to drive now. Later, while driving, Jerry gets rid of the animal NPCs, plus the Mammal King. The professor and her goons pull up next to them, and we're introduced to the apex predator assigned by the council to kill Jerry. Yes, I'm sure that when there's clearly less than 50 seagulls carrying the shop, it looks totally believable that a small group of seagulls can actually carry that thing. Totally. Hello, Luke. I'm gonna rip the shit out of you. Man, what kind of movie am I watching? This is just ridiculous. So a beaver saves the man from getting eaten by a shark, swerving the car, and when seeing a device that can make you communicate with animals, Mabel steals that device from the professor and puts it on Jerry. It's me, Asia. Mabel. And once Jerry can start communicating with animals, he's like, oh, I'm dreaming, and just gives up on driving. You know how funny would it be if Mabel tries saving Jerry's
Dude. Gives SpongeBob. Yeah, that's.
Jerry's side demands him to cancel the highway, and when Jerry says he can't, Mabel screams he's over here and tries getting him killed. That's right, folks. When Mabel is on your side, if you don't listen to her in complete obedience, she will try to kill you. That's who she is. And wasn't she the one against killing him, but now proceed to try and kill him because he doesn't insist how many got anger issues? Please, I'm pushing 60, I don't know Mary. But luckily, Mabel's annoying ass finally gets caught, and the animal bodies then give it back to the professor as Mabel is back to her ancient body again. You're expelled. So the poor king that trusted Mabel gets betrayed and deceived, and because Mabel screamed Jerry's location earlier, it's thanks to her that everyone else gets captured by the animals. Be honest, y'all. Did any of you watch this film and just went, I really like Mabel? Because I'm starting to think that Disney actually made this film just to make Asians unlikable and look bad. I'm dead ass. And when Mabel wakes up, we see a ridiculous plot twist that the animals force the professor to make a human clone that animals can hop into. And not just any human clone, a Jerry clone controlled by the Chomp Insect King.
Thanks, Mabel. I'll make everyone see my nipples.
Yeah, loser ranch. So Big Jerry reveals he's going to use the same device that humans have used on them, but at the same frequency that killed them, as he'll first target the people at Jerry's rally tonight, then eventually use it on all humans. This is all happening because Mabel tried helping animals. So moral of the story is, if you don't want animals to kill you and take over the world, then don't let Asians be vegans and keep building highways. Then Big Jerry brings the Mammal King to Mabel, showing her how to trade and deal, and then he doesn't want to speak to her. Yeah, humans might all die because humans are the wall. And when Mabel needs to face the consequences of her actions, what do you know? We get another grandma flashback, so she gets to escape accountability again. Could you imagine I do whatever I want, and when it's time to face the consequences, I just go, oh, but my grandma died. Because my grandma died, you need to feel sorry for me. What? Listen, everyone's grandma will either die or is dead, so what makes literally Mabel so much more special from the rest that because her grandma died, that it just shields her and protects her and prevents her from facing any sort of accountability. So once again, Mabel doesn't apologize or accept her doings, but instead commands Jerry to use the hopping machine to keep the bot. Please. Fine. So Jerry hops into the bot and becomes the Justin Bieber. Wow, what a crazy coincidence. The animals put the hopping device right above Jerry. It's almost like this movie is ends. Later, the movie takes place as fake Jerry pulls up while Jerry's mom with Asian eyes be watching, and dude starts acting mean, saying things like, how many of you have killed an insect? Because you killed an insect, you all deserve to be killed too. Then Mabel shows up, and that's right, the climax of this film is Mabel just trying to talk her way into changing the fake Jerry's mind with speech, talking about how animals and humans can play out together. What's funny is we know she doesn't believe any of it. She knows highways will continue to be built and more wild animals will be affected by. So her saying animals and humans will just fly out of nowhere to be used as character development is just not believable or consistent with the character.
I know I killed your mom. Oh, Jerry's mom finally looks white now. Killing her was fun. Yeah? If I could go back in time, I'll kill her as again.
But Fake Jerry isn't buying it, and with Jerry's phone being tossed to the top of the big tree, Fake Jerry starts crawling like a torpedo and easily beats Beaver Jerry out the way. Wait, so instead of showing up to your own rally as the real Jerry to pull out the fake one, you pulled up as a low beaver?
This Jerry's
And Mabel unintentionally takes Fake Jerry's skin mask off and falls, but somehow doesn't get injured while the Insect King can't access Jerry's phone because the space card will now always decline. So the Chomp Butterfly crashes out as the animals hear him admit he plans to get rid of them too so that only Insect can rule. But the Insect King falls off the fake tree, then the bot explodes, creating a severe wildfire. And the council ends up killing the Insect King.
wow, look at what Mabel did.
You know, maybe the film's trying to say trying to stop climate change only speeds up climate change.
It's your mom.
And Mabel's low IQ has used the jacket from her to try to stop the fire. And when the jacket gets on fire, she starts crying, going,
No, Mom.
then why would you use that jacket to stop the fire? She's like, oh, I used the jacket that my grandma gave me to stop the fire, and it caught fire.
No, Grandma.
What is she doing, bro? This film is it just is. Then Joy pulls up trying to be a hero and gets injured, but thanks to plot armor, they escape the fire by getting a ride on a van. And maybe why couldn't you just study at a Bible?
This is why Asians can't be vegans.
Stop the fire, the animals destroy the dam in their main home, which is a fortress for any animals to come when they have nowhere else to go. Meaning, all because Mabel wanted to try help the animals, she ends up making the animals destroy their last fortress to help the humans. Thus, the animals stop the fire before it can reach the city, as one can say Mabel did more harm to animals and the environment than any good she could have ever done.
Wow, the glade's so pretty now. Thanks, Mabel.
And luckily for her, Jerry decides to build a highway elsewhere, meaning Mabel's favorite glade will remain as a glade, while another poor glade somewhere else will be destroyed. So why is Mabel happy? Other than this man who homes are going to be destroyed elsewhere and you're smiling? Wait, so do you actually care about climate change and all animals, or was it just the glade you grew up with? So other than defending our favorite place, which is the glade where we got the highway, other than that, she has done nothing to solve the issue, fix the problem, because highways will continue to be built, and as long as they continue to be built, other glades and other animals are going to continue to lose their homes. So, literally, what is the point of this film? It seems to me the message of this film is like climate change is going to happen no matter what. You can't make a difference, so don't be an Asian vegan. And at some time, Mabel ends up graduating. Learn it's thanks to her that the Hoppers program got shut down.
Can you get me a job? How will that help me? I'll give you stress and make your hair fall out.
You're such a cancer. Just know we hate you. And the professor hires her as her assistant, despite Mabel being extremely unlikable thanks to plot armor. Because if this was the real world, she would have been expelled from school already after the shit she did. the movie ends with Mabel and George still being friends, and then George becomes an eye. Now, I remember watching this movie in theaters, and when coming into the movie, I was actually excited, looking forward to it, going, bro, this is a Pixar film, the main character's Asian, this is going to be lit, I'm going to love this film, and by the end of the film, I literally came out of the film going like, damn, that might be one of the worst Pixar films I've ever seen, and Mabel might be one of the worst written characters I've ever seen as well. Like, it's just that bad. And
when it comes to travel, you're a winner. That's why you don't just have a travel trip.
Have you guys ever dated a redhead? Why would we do that? Because we'll let you sniff our armpits. Ugh, dang it. What the hell? If you want to smell that shit, let me know. The movie begins with two men cheering on a boat.
they're talking about sea monsters because they got nothing better to do, as an actual sea monster takes their shit and then shows off its swimming ability, traumatizing the two men, and then rage baiting them. Then we're introduced to Luca, who's a sea monster and his job is to herd fish like a shepherd, and bro doesn't get paid to do it either, so this is technically not child labor. Being naturally curious, he loves to glaze human stuff and wish,
You know, sulking down there ain't gonna bring your parents back.
the film begins with a loner kid who has no friends named Elio, who lives with his aunt because he has no parents.
Yeah, look at that happy family. You wish that was you, huh?
Feeling lonely, he acts like a performative male by entering some space planet exhibit and starts crying because there might be life outside of Earth. What? You're gonna cry over that? You know there's real reason to cry.
Like being broke. You're such an attention seeker, Elio. Is life really out there?
Boy, we don't get your lack of chromosome ass up. And the main character of this film proves he's an NPC as he wastes his life on a beach trying to get abducted. Man, what kind of message is Pixar sending? That if you don't have any parents and you're sad, you should want to feel kidnapped and abducted? I'm not even kidding. Bro makes it his whole life mission to get abducted by aliens searching from beach to get kidnapped.
What the hell?
Yeah, if I was on, I'd be straight up pissed. And one day, as he wastes his life, a green light appears. Ooh, what the? Elio screams after seeing a black kid. Oh, he's racist. Damn. Then Elio meets Bryce, who's a chill dude who's trying to be friendly and nice, and Elio's just like, yeah, you want that shit? Give me that. You can go home now, you're not needed anymore. Yeah, Elio might actually be racist. Then we introduce to Caleb as Pixar decides if you're a normal straight white male, we're gonna make you the villain.
Can you guys go? I'm fruity.
Huh? Oh, I'm gonna act really annoying and break your machine. Oh, no. That's a you problem.
I'll show you my fruitiness. Yeah.
What is this? Come on, man. If you letting a kid swinging his arms like that in a hula hoop hit you or intimidate you, you should really reevaluate your life. Stop resisting! So Elio gets in trouble and now you got 2 new pups.
Oh, I'm screwed.
Doctor says if you touch your eye, you'll get infected. Ooh. And looking at Elio's mannerisms, I'm like, damn, he's pretty zesty. It turns out they removed the original script and made massive changes that in the original Elio, he is gay and has a male crush, but they decided to change it and make him more masculine after a screen test with Colby. More masculine? More masculine where? This kid is hella fruity. And look, you can make whatever film you want, that's fine, but just don't tell me you changed the character to make him more traditionally masculine. Come on.
Jesus, the fruitiest character I've ever seen.
Then it's revealed Elio's aunt, who's an Air Force major, gave up her dreams of becoming an astronaut to raise her nephew, and just like Lilo and Stitch live action, what's Disney's beef for pushing the idea kids will make your life miserable and breaking families apart? Like, is it just me that feels like Disney's pushing this idea, whereas movies made in China like Nesha 2 is all about loving your family and how valuable family is? Very big difference.
Interesting.
Anyway, Elio's then asked by his aunt to just keep 10 minutes. But
No, China, I don't know. It's one of them, though. It's one of them.
And this nerd's like, oh my gosh,
I think we found contact with aliens and we can send them a message back as long as we get your permission, Major. You should go home. So, this is why we don't hire weeds. I watch anime.
So Auntie doesn't believe the weed because her job is to track space debris, not aliens. And Elio Silverchair sends a message anyway.
I hate my mom, so please come kidnap me and adopt me. Love you.
And he sends the message like,
Yeah.
and as a result, he shuts the power down and almost gets his aunt fired. And to make things worse, he doesn't even care what his aunt went through and constantly messing up the house, only thinking about himself.
Elio, stop being so delulu. That's how I'm about it.
Boy, you're an orphan.
I don't need to be doing this shit.
I'm gonna leave your ass and you can start annoying them.
You try to get rid of me.
Bro, you're an ungrateful, selfish brat that hates on the one person that cares about you.
Yeah, if I was the aunt send you to camp too. I need to meet aliens. Why? Because you don't. You're not my family.
And it was in that moment an Asian parent would beat the living shit out of that kid.
Give you the bamboo one hole.
Also, this whole time, Elio wanted to be kidnapped so he can find a sense of belonging. That's what this is about. Bro, then just develop a personality, make some friends, and become self-aware that your auntie cares. Then boom, problem solved. What a weird-ass kid. kid slams the door and overhears his aunt talking to him. They gave up being an astronaut for this bum-ass kid. I mean, the auntie shouldn't gossip, but that's what you get. So Elio gets sent to youth camp and with no friends and a trapped personality, he knows he's cooked. Even when his aunt confronts him, bro gets sassy.
Oh, Nicky Regina George.
And his ops event.
Hello, Mr. Mamacita. Yeah.
Later that night, Caleb and his friends gang up on Elio to beat his ass, so he runs away, while Auntie thinks about sending a cringy-ass text. Yo, is that a shit emoji? Why?
You asking if he came or not?
So the paranormal activity goes down, and Auntie converts into believing aliens exist as the aliens send the message, bring us your leader. And Bryce is the only one that's like, we're not actually going to hurt him, right? Just scare him a little. Yeah? And when Elio's running away, Caleb literally says, come on, Space Boy. Now, maybe I'm reaching, but Space Boy sounds very similar to Gay Boy. Space Boy, Gay Boy, like it sounds similar. And knowing the context of Pixar, that it was an LGBT film, pretty much, it's not far to say that that's what they were aiming for. Gotcha.
No, bro, I don't even have armpit hair.
We're going to film you eating sand and send it to the whole school.
But look behind you.
Nice punch.
Look at his face, bro. Knows he's cool.
Caleb tries to make Elio meet the Tooth Fairy, but at the last moment, time freezes and aliens finds him and abducts him.
Mission. Yes. Abduct me and traffic me, Zaddy.
Man, this is such a weird-ass film. If you're a kid who's an orphan who doesn't have a sense of belonging, please do not think getting kidnapped or abducted by strangers is a good idea.
Well, you want Chinese food takeaway? Yes. Well, too bad we ain't space, we ain't got shit.
Then this little kid gets a random drink from some stranger alien, and I don't even know what Pixar's thinking. What are you teaching kids it's okay to accept drinks from strangers that has God knows what inside? Then we meet these Pokemon wannabe-looking creatures that pretty much start harassing Elio, and this old man alien kisses them, and I don't know, man, watching scenes like these was uncomfortable. Like, get your lips and hands off the kid, old man. It just gave off weird, creepy vibes. You're drinking herpes. And you look at his hand gestures and posture. Yeah, he's definitely yay! Pixar, what you mean you made the character more masculine after the screen test? I've never seen a character this zesty. And if you want to make a gay character, that's fine, but it's extremely difficult for the male audience to relate to a character or want to be like that character when most men watching aren't gay. Plus, this film doesn't cater to what girls want to see either, so guys can't relate to it, girls can't relate to it, so it's no wonder it tanked the box office. Anyway, it turns out the aliens invited Elio here because they think he's the leader of Earth, and because Elio wants to stay here with aliens forever instead of developing a better personality, bro lies that he is the leader of Earth. Then we're introduced to Lord Drygon, who wants to be part of the Communiverse, which is pretty much this alien group here, but he gets rejected, and when asking why, they're like, we believe in tolerance and open-mindedness. Open-mindedness? Open-minded? Well, that's not very tolerant and open-minded of them to reject someone because they're different, and I'm guessing Lord Drygon symbolizes toxic masculinity, so Pixar made him the bad guy. It just honestly felt like this film was just shoving propaganda in my face, regardless of how boring the story is. Anyway, so Drygon just declares he'll conquer them and just take the Communiverse by force, and Elio, who's only thinking about himself, is like, so can I still join you guys? They're like, nah, you can't, because we're gonna be slaves. Let me take your ugly ass back. But remember, he needs to develop a personality. Bro decides to volunteer to negotiate with Drygon and rather save the aliens and live with them than to self-inflict level up and make some friends. That's super relatable. Good job, Pixar. Totally not stupid at all. So he lies again that he's a master negotiator, and the aliens agree to make Elio a member if he successfully gets Lord Drygon to leave him alone.
Yes, slay Elio.
How this ditto Pokemon-looking alien gets his DNA to make a clone to keep his aunt and others distracted while Elio stays in space. And I find it ridiculous that these aliens have the ability to make clones, but they can't tell that Elio is a kid loner pretending to be an adult leader. Yes, I repeat, the aliens don't even know that Elio is a kid. And just when the clone's sent off to Earth, the clone's like, should I keep acting like a loser who's unlikable with no friends? Well, just be normal. Okay, I'm cooked.
Where is your I wish you would.
Because Elio got picked on and interacted with. Oh, the aliens are real. Cool story, bro, that's great. You don't want to talk about aliens? Not gay. Amazing. Meanwhile, the real Elio meets Lord Drygon and fails to negotiate because he ended up rage baiting. Being a dad is so hard, right? If he's too hard to handle, you should just be a deadbeat. Yo, look at that body. He's like, boy, you done messed up. Tell me, what am I lacking?
Well, you do smell like poo.
Nani?
How about we do a zesty dance-off?
And Elio gets taken to prison as Drygon continues to plan on conquering the Communiverse, while Auntie's pretty happy she ain't living with a self-centered rat anymore.
And when the clone chopped his finger off, he just put it right back on.
So the real Elio escapes prison because of plot armor, but ends up meeting some slimy slug-like creature that's also a loner and has no friends named Glorden. And not only do the two get along, turns out Glorden is Drygon's son, so Elio decides to take him as a hostage and use him as a bargaining chip. So Elio negotiates with Drygon again.
Your son's my bitch.
Oh, yeah, this film's pretty gay. Yo, we went from films like The Incredibles to this. What happened? So Dragon's like, okay, I leave you. But if anything happened to my son, I'm gonna wish you making clothes in China. Honestly, I don't even know why Dragon wanted to join these alien bots, because they're all cowards relying on a little kid to save them. Anyway, Elio and Gordon then spent a lot of fun time together, and I'm assuming in the original version they were both queer and like each other romantically, but Pixar in the last minute definitely changed. Then they start venting. Is it true you don't have parents?
Yeah. Can't relate. Dad disowned me because I'm different. My aunt's like that. What if there's nothing about me to want? What if it's me?
Then grow up and do something about it. Work on your personality and you'll be just fine. Like when Elio met Bryce, Bro was friendly and willing to be mates, but it was Elio that took Bro's stuff and told her to piss off. Like, how about you don't do that and maybe you won't realize Bro the problem. Then the GOC's Gordon's dad. So Walmart Iron Man wannabe suit, then Gordon throws a fit because he just wants to play and have fun instead of following tradition and going to work. This is pretty much the equivalent of like the average guy that just doesn't want to work and just want to sleep in and like play video games. Like, I get it. But we all gotta work, buddy. Welcome to life. And what's Pixar's obsession with making films about breaking tradition and going against parents? Like they did it with Turning Red, Luca, Brave, and now Elio. It's almost like Pixar wants kids to rebel against their parents and break families apart. So then Elio gets the idea to make Gordon a clone of himself so he can continue to have fun while the clone doesn't work. And when Elio checks upon his clone, Bro gets jelly and dumbfounded at how happy the art looks when it's fake.
Wow, so you are the problem.
So they make Gordon a clone, and Elio gets the real Gordon to hide in an escape shuttle.
I didn't know you could. How? I've been knowing how to cook.
And just when you think everything's wholesome and happy, then boom, this scene was Loki. Creepy as hell. And how'd she get his hair? Does that mean she was either biting or putting her tongue all over his hair? Either way, ew. So the aunt is now sus of Elio, and when trying to study his DNA, we get a horror scene. Yeah, any kid that watched this film under the age of 7 would definitely get nightmares.
Plus, we see the hair moving on its own that slips back to the Elio clone. I made in China.
Back in space, Elio shows up with Gordon's clone to fool his dad, and when his dad tries to prolong his speech, Clone's like, I ain't got time for that shit, hurry up. So Gordon Clone becomes the Walmart Iron Man and is programmed to be super enthusiastic working as a war machine. So Dragon keeps the throne, and Elio seen as a hero and a permanent member of the communities. Good son.
Hell yeah, being enslaved to a 9 to 5 is my dream.
And And Dragon finds out it's a clone. You're so cookie! So Dragon's pissed and demands for a son and uses a pink Pokemon to read his mind, who finds out Elio's a loner-ass kid. And as the two Nara Iron Man try to find Gordon, Bro accidentally gets a shuttle to head to Earth.
Elio, how could you lie to us?
Don't snitch. He's the loner and has no friends.
Wait, so you don't care I'm a kid?
I ain't gonna nut. So Dragon chooses to dominate and conquer the aliens because he can't find his son and thinks he's gay, which is a pretty valid crash out because Elio lied and did not hold his end of the deal. You look at this alien's face, he's like, this part was pretty funny. When this little alien is pinned to the ground, she legit says, it's his fault, not ours. Damn, just gonna throw him under the bus like that? Elio, do you even want to be part of this group? Or are they snitching on you? Anyway, Elio gets sent back to Earth as the aliens are all under Dragon's rule, all thanks to him.
So maybe he is the problem.
And seeing his aunt he joins her, now knowing that even the aliens don't even want him, so he finally starts to see that his aunt cares about him.
I hate you for taking my Elio. I'm stuck with a team of clones.
Then Elio lets his auntie know he's the real one and not a clone, and they have a kumbaya moment.
Oh, this film's so boring. Oh, kill me. Oh, I thought you hated me.
Well, duh, look at you.
This isn't the life you wanted. Yes, we'll be poor, but I have you.
So they hug it out and teaming up with the clone, Elio finds a shuttle with Gordon with him.
You guys want to see some wild shit? What the hell?
Who's it?
Are you my zaddy?
What the?
I'm melting zaddy.
Oh, Auntie's traumatized. Knowing it's Elio's idea, she's looking at him like, no wonder you ain't got no friends. Damn. Anyway, as the clone distracted the gods, Elio reunites with Gordon again, but he's freezing cold and in a very bad condition. And when they get confronted by other staff, the auntie's like, I don't give a shit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna break your facility while I'm at it. Wait, doesn't this mean she's now fired from her job because they saw who she was? So yeah, you wanna guess the climax of this film? I'm not even making this up. The climax of Elio is them avoiding space debris. Yes, you heard me. That's the climax. Avoiding space debris. And what's even dumber about this movie is Elio contacts Bryce again, and they become friends just like that. So it was that easy. Because the whole point of Elio going to space and wanting to be kidnapped is because he was lonely and wanted a sense of belonging. When this whole time, Bro could reconcile with his aunt and made friends that easily. So essentially, Bro went to space and met aliens for nothing. It's useless. Caleb can be a real butt sometimes. Bro, who talks like that? As a former 11-year-old, I've never seen a dude my age at 11 going like, hey, he's a real butt sometimes. You know, he's being mean. He's a butt. Just call him a dickhead. Anyway, Bryce connects them to the weave, and because the aunt is an expert in space debris, Pixar decided the most entertaining part of the movie, which is the climax, to be about avoiding space debris. Like, why not make Elio's clone turn evil so you can learn a lesson about not lying and deceiving people? So not only the plot of this movie is stupid, but they don't even have a deeper message. Whether it's intentional or not, this film is pretty much saying, if you're alone and you have no friends, you're the problem, and just develop a personality and you'll be fine. That's literally it. Anyway, Elio pulls up the Dragon with his son and starts getting performative and cries, because if he doesn't, Bro's definitely gonna